YouTube, TikTok, what's up, man? I'm not gonna be on here long. I'm quite tired. I really am tired. I'm pretty sure y'all can see it on my face. But I just came on to address a few things, and it really is a sad thing to see every day that instead of love, um what we give out is hate. You know, every day the single mother is shamed. The black as a black man, you know what I'm saying, like speaking against speaking on the black men that get on platforms and voice their opinions every day. The single mother is shamed, she's ridiculed, she's blamed for every single thing, every day. And then we calling ourselves men, and we're not even acting like it online. We calling ourselves leaders, but we're not trying to go help out the community, or even be a mentor to these young kids or anything. But yet we're leaving the woman, or we're blaming women for everything. Like every talking point is revolved around single mother this and single mother that. And then we say that we good men. How do we say that we good men, but we ain't never got nothing good to say? Make that make sense, man. Make that make sense. We claiming that we leaders, we not even leading in love. We not putting ourselves in the woman's shoes. We not speaking with empathy, sympathy, grace. We not adding nuance to the conversations. We're not doing that. We as a group of men on these platforms make it known that we are going to shame and blame women for every single thing. Everything. If we can't get a job, that's the woman's fault. Women messed up the economy. The woman broke up the family. The women don't care about their kids. Look at the woman. They're failing. And I don't understand how, these older men have so much time on their hands to just keep talking about women. Like, when y'all go start talking about some community organizing, some community building, how to be a great mentor? What is it actually, talk about manhood. But again, the definition of manhood today is, let me get a camera and a microphone and let me talk about women all day, every day. And as a man who had his mother and father in his life, right? As a man who had that, this is what the man has resulted to. Nothing but podcast talk and hateful rhetoric towards the very woman that he comes out of. If women are the problem, if black women are the problem, and you're giving them all the smoke, then let them lead and get the heck out the way, right? Because if they are the source, the strength, the problem, the root, everything, then just get out the way. I'm tired of every day hearing circular talking points with no solutions. For a group of men to call themselves and say that we are solution based, we are not talking about any solutions. A solution is not getting online saying that single mothers are the problems. A person can point out a problem and address it fully. So I'm not here to shame black men. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to throw black men under the bus. I'm just tired of circular talking points every day. When are you going to start leading with love, grace, empathy, and sympathy? And then we can maybe figure something out. Let me see what Chad's saying. What's going on? Let me turn up the volume. What's going on, man?
Yo,
What's up?
yeah, I'm gonna be real. These dudes out here who fixate on the single mom, they fixate on the single mom because they believe that children out of wedlock is a punishment for them not being chosen by them. That's really why they don't like single mothers. And they think like, oh, the nuclear family is gonna bring the black community back to promise, even though since we've been in this country since 1619, we've been screwed. So I don't I I think a lot of them, they don't like single mothers because they deem single mothers to be a hindrance to Black progress, and they think that um, they are the caliber of man that the single mother should have chose, and that they think they are the ones to lead the Black community to the promised land. That's really what it is. A lot of, I would say that's why they cling to this red pill and manosphere nonsense, because it gives them an easy out. It's easier to watch Kevin Samuels for 3 hours versus going to the club and talking to a woman and maybe going, 1 for 5. So that's mainly what it is. They and a lot of them don't necessarily connect things to systems. They individualize things. So they'll talk about, oh, the single mothers. Oh, why aren't women cooking and cleaning, when it's like the single motherhood rate is because of the U.S. government breaking up Black families. And you could argue that women don't want to cook and clean anymore because they have more autonomy, they have more rights, and because Black men don't the capital to where the majority of Black women can just lay back and cook and clean.
I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you said, but my main thing, I think they the one key point that I wanted to key on is that when you said that it's easier to sit back and watch Kevin Samuels, I think it's just easier to blame women for the downfalls of Black men, because I think and though I'm about to use a language that people get mad over, but I don't care. I think a lot of them are choosing to be mentally buck broken, right? So they're choosing to be mentally buck broken to where they're being used as a pawn against their own community of women, and it's easier for them to just blame the woman instead of actually going out here and putting in real work in the community. That's my biggest thing.
Well, I say mentally buck broken. I think that's a little
extreme.
Yeah, I will say that majority of this stuff goes back to capitalism. I think that's the main reason why the quote unquote gender war even exists, because Black people refuse to decolonize their minds. So they want most Black women want Black men to perform very rigid, traditional, patriarchal roles, and then Black men vice versa. And unfortunately, the common denominator is that the Black man, because of the way capitalism is structured, to where it keeps Black men from having a piece of the American pie, or at least the majority. So they then can't perform the financial aspect of the nuclear role. So thus it creates a cycle where Black men feel, okay, well, these women have more autonomy, so they don't necessarily feel that they have an obligation to fulfill, the cooking and cleaning and shit.
But if you look at the average, do you think the average woman just wants to be treated correctly?
Yes.
Do you think the average woman has a problem with cooking and cleaning?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I don't like. This ain't towards you, but like these dumb talking points, right? We know that in a balanced relationship that the woman is cooking and cleaning, but honestly, why do we even refer to why is a cooking and cleaning even a woman's job? Okay, we can dissect that later, but the fact of the matter is women will love, and love is in different ways. They will show their love to their partner when they are being treated correctly, and they know that. That's my problem with that. They know darn well that they have had a good woman and that she was doing all these things for them, and they messed over. And it could be vice versa. It could be vice versa. I don't think more women have ruined more men, but again, I don't have the numbers. I can't prove it unless I bring up his history. But these guys know that in a well-balanced relationship, or in majority of relationships, these women do be doing everything for their man: catering, cooking, cleaning, loving on, everything. They're getting the emotional support. They act like
look in the comments. women always leave. It's in their nature, nigga. You sound like you have
well, Dan's a troll because I tried to invite him up multiple times and he doesn't tend to want to come up. And and again, these are the same guys who call themselves alpha and all that. But
yeah, well, it's getting late, but I gotta go though.
That's the bit, bro. You have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was Chad. But yeah, Dan, I've invited you 1,000 times. Like, I invited you yesterday, and yet you did not come up to have any type of balanced conversation or anything. You run from conversations, and you see I'm a very respectful person. I'm not going to curse you out. I'm not going to call you out your name, but I will call you weak because you acting like a weak man right now by sitting in the comments. And all you had to do was come. See, look, it broke, fam. Dan, if you're not gonna come up, I'm gonna block you, because one thing I don't like is a punk black man, because you're in the comments arguing with women, but I'm a man and you scared to come up. I can't touch you through a screen, my G. Make one more comment to a woman. Make one more comment to a woman. I'm gonna look. Make one more comment to a woman, fam. You have a good one. You have a good one. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Which goes back into my topic. The topic. These guys have more smoke for women than they do a man. They have no smoke for drug dealers. They have no. Oh, I can't say that word on here. They have no smoke for those guys, right? They have no smoke for gangs. They have no smoke for that. But I guarantee every day what they do have smoke for is the woman, the single mother. Thank you for the F1. The single mother and all that stuff. That is what they do. They have more smoke for that and it's every day. Every day. And women, I know you're getting tired. I know y'all are tired. I don't know the extent of it because I will never be a woman. So I can't even say that, I can relate. I can't. I don't feel what you feel. No. But I know that you're tired. But I'm just here. I keep trying to make it be known this is not gonna get better. They gonna do this every day. This ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing about me, bro, find you a group of people that's gonna love you for you, and build you some friendships, build you some connections with some real ones, and keep your circle tight. Because I'm telling you for a fact, there is no hope. There is no hope. It's gone. It's finito. It's bye-bye. Some women are holding out for hopium that this podcast stuff and this red pill and this manosphere stuff is going to go. It's not. It's over with. It's here forever. People going to keep voicing their opinions. This is how they always felt, right? They always felt that another group of women is better. That another group of women deserves the black. That's how they always felt. This ain't nothing new. They always felt that you were lesser than. They always felt that these groups of women are better. They always felt that a single mother is trash. That's how they feel. They have always felt like this. This ain't nothing. And matter of fact, we think that it's new because it's all on the internet. It's not new. It's not new. Look at what we fought for in court. You know what? Let me. Because I said I was going to do better. But if I start, I'm trying to do better. I really, okay. God, my guy Noah, I can't tell if you're African American or Caucasian. I really can't tell, but I sent you an invite. I can't tell if you are African American. You know what, Black American, or mixed. I don't know what you are, but I sent you an invite. Because you keep making, like, when y'all get to making comments like that gets on my nerves. When you dudes come in and get to making all these dumb comments talking about 304 content. Bro, we got dudes online that make jokes about going finesse a woman who grew up without a father to manipulate her. I know you've seen content like that too. You talking about 304 content. Have you not seen the black man's content? Oh, hey, if it ain't snowing, I ain't going. What are you talking about? You dudes love to bring up this 304 content, knowing dang well that you guys are sleeping with the 304s. The same women that y'all be calling 304s is the same woman that you go sleep with. Y'all have no discipline. Talking about women that's twerking on highways and stuff like that. You be the same guys in their DMs, fam. Miss me with this nonsense. As a man, I know that you be in them goddamn DMs. Let's stop the BS. Why do y'all always who promotes 304 behavior? Men, because you pay for it. Nigga, you created strip clubs. Not men created strip clubs. You talk about 304 content. Why do men keep buying content on OnlyFans? Married men too. All right, y'all quick to put your dollar behind the 304. That's why we have tricks. And I'm not trying to sound misogynistic when I say this, but women have no power. You keep giving them power. She can't get paid without your money. Honestly, y'all give all the way y'all do. A woman don't have no power over a man. All that, you know, the vagina got power and all that stuff. Miss me with that nonsense, bro. She has no power over you. You have power over yourself. You guys pay. You guys pay for it. You spend money on it because you have no discipline. But then y'all want to talk about 304 content when it's mostly men that buy the 304 content. You love to see cheeks shaking on the goddamn TikTok, YouTube. You love to see that. And y'all even let a woman start twerking on the internet right now. Y'all dudes gonna be like this. Emptying out your whole 401k. But yet y'all get mad at the content talking about what women are doing. You're paying for it. If I got a solution. I see we talk about solutions because we logical men, right? Stop buying it. Stop buying it. I guarantee she would be forced to get a job. But as long as there's a trick, nigga, treat. As long as there's a trick, there will be a treat. But you talking about 304 content. Miss me with this nonsense, bro. You dudes love the 304s. And y'all be the 304s. That's what I be laughing at. That's what I be laughing at. Y'all be talking about the 304s, but you be the 304. I'm gonna start asking men what's your body count, and then I'm gonna start calling you a dog. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Hey, what's your body count? Oh, 20. Oh, you a dog. You couldn't reserve yourself for the right one. You don't have no discipline. You dirty. When the last time you got checked? You got AIDS? You got herpes? You got gonorrhea? What you got? Where's that slip? Show me your slip. Right? That's what I'm gonna start doing, bro. We're gonna start having I'm gonna start consulting people, right? Hey, show your results. Dudes out here messing up women's pH. Miss me with this nonsense. Like I said, the single mother, black single women, single mother women. Good luck changing what don't want to be changed. Bro, men don't want to change, fam. All right, Noah. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, bro. You the type, you are older. I'm looking at your profile picture. You are an older man. You can't be that much of a coward. You gonna stick in the comments instead of letting me hear your voice by accepting the request. Are you that weak? Actually, I don't want to be mad. I don't want to insult your masculinity. Because I know how fragile the ego is, right? But my goodness. I'm serious. YouTube, I'm sorry. It be these people on TikTok, bro. But YouTube, like I said, YouTube, I apologize. But y'all, you do get on my nerves, bro. All you gotta do is press the accept button. And y'all be in the comments arguing with women and saying a whole bunch of stupid stuff online, fam. This guy called me Derek Jackson. Wow. because I care for our community of women. Oh, that's crazy. Derek Jackson. Because I care for the single mother. That's what makes me Derek Jackson, my G. All right, I want to see your profile picture. This nigga here. God dang, they always never look like nothing. Yeah, so what's wrong with defending our group of women?
Absolutely nothing.
So how am I Derek Jackson?
Brother, it's the same cologne, same suit, same everything. What is good for the Black community should be communicated in a way that people can understand, not for clickbait. If you want to go over it, let's go over it.
Read
And
it.
let's start wherever you want to start, but let's go. But don't try to play me like you have the overall community aspect of what we need in mind.
I think I really do have what we need in mind because, first of all, what I have is love, empathy, sympathy, and grace. You dudes be having neither.
Talk to me straight up, me and you straight face to face.
Yeah. You want to get on camera?
Absolutely.
Well, I thought you wanted to see. You don't want me to see your face.
Who cares about whether or not you see my face? What you're talking about is, excuse me, I apologize. What you're talking about is when every day the single mother is shamed on these platforms.
Yes.
The single mother is exactly what's wrong with the community. We went from prior to 1974 from 86% married and all of our children was born in the home to now nothing. And what are you going to do? Just going to discount it?
So now I'm finna make black men mad because y'all couldn't defeat the white man. So when you talked about the go, wait, whoa, don't unmute your mic. Hold on. So again, let's take it all the way back. If the government kicked the black man out the household, you couldn't defeat the white man from stopping that from happening. And it wasn't just you got kicked out of your own house. So miss me with that nonsense. A lot of black men left their family. Okay? So if you want to tie all this in together, you are the first line of defense. You are the leader. You are the starting point, not the woman. The greatest trick in the book, right, would be to buck break the black man, right, and get to the woman. But again, you lost. Sorry, because yeah, you may have had matter of fact, you had Wall Street, and you couldn't even defend that. You let drugs get planted in your neighborhood by the government, right? You sold it to your own people. So when you want to talk about that, this is the problem with the black community. No, the problem is the men couldn't win against the ones who destroy your community. You're the soldiers.
Make an excuse for black men destroying our own.
But Tom, when you say the problem, that's what I have a problem with. You said the problem with the community is the single mother. No, that's not the problem. The problem. You can say maybe a problem, but when you spin it to say the problem, that's what I have a problem with. The problem.
Well, you're directed into one direction.
Oh.
Show you some respect because you actually brought up a very good point. It does make sense. There is no way to mutually exclude one thing from the other. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But we have perpetuated for the last 40 years a single mother childhood. We're now 65 to what is like it's hard to nail down the actual statistic, but the 65 to 75% of all children being born to single mothers in our childhood in our community, or are we gonna sit back and say that is one gender's fault?
I wouldn't say that. That's not fair. Why would I do that? So, but what I will say is uh to that point, right? The CIA says the black man is the most active father. Now, I think that was a self-reported study. The black man is the most active father when he's there.
Right.
The,
I don't believe it
yeah.
either.
Oh, okay, cool. So we on the same page. The problem is that I have with this single mother conversation is I can always ask, where are these dads? Because you have to have nuance in this conversation. Are we really going to sit here and say, not you, but it's men who will say that these women are keeping their children away from the dad? Now, hold on, to some truth there, that some women are doing it. I know about cases, I've heard about the stories. I will not discount those cases. But then when we talk about the majority of the outcry in our community, the things you've even heard in your own family,
50.01% is the only thing needed to be the majority.
So do you believe 50% of these women are really keeping their children away from their father? Or they
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is the chicken after the egg. The problem that we have, and with men like you and me, like you have a platform, and myself that I chose to come up here and talk to you man to man, is that what we really need to do is get down to the truth. The fact is that humans will be humans since God turned the lights on till he turns the lights out. The fact is that every other race has seemed to figure out their ethnic identity. And what we have done is we have not built a community around what ails us. And what we do is we continuously try to cherry pick what happens to our community, when the fact is men and women will have SCGGS, right? For the purpose of your thing, I don't want to get it banned. But race does. I have worked in engineering since I was 20 years old when I got out of the military. And I have dealt with primarily men of different races because we are a minority in this industry. And you know what they tell me? I'm saying, how does they keep plaguing our community? What do y'all do? They have methods and instrumentation of from the ground up how they talk to their children. But since we don't have a family and a community dynamic, you can't collectively apply a cure. So that's why 70% of us that's not married or considering family as a huge part or cornerstone of our communities. We need to step back and really look at what's ailing us. It's not the fact that men and women have sex, because every race does. Guess who don't bring children that don't have a family or stability standpoint within their community? It's us.
Okay. So with everything that's happened to the black community, right? Now, I'm not going to play the whole victim game, but do you think that there's a reason why we haven't been able to get back to that standard?
Absolutely. I think we need to abandon any course, any belief that in the fine print, in the little letters, in every little bit of legislation that they put in, has us included as the beneficiary, because it only always benefits them. There's always a banana in the tailpipe. So when we sign up for these things that on the outskirts or on the surface sounds like it's going to do something for us, it ultimately tears our family apart. So all they got to do is step back and look and laugh and say, "Go, it's working." And then, and no disrespect to you, brother, because I understand you probably trying to help. All they do now is sit back and say, "Watch them go at each other. Watch them sit back and try to figure this out." What we need to do is abandon all rhyme, rhythm, and anything that got anything to do with them, because it's always a banana in the tailpipe. The only thing that we really can change, that don't take one bit of legislation, one bit of any type of voting, is two people get together and raise a family together. and with values and raise children. And we don't need nobody to step in, nobody to give us any type of money, and build a community that supports each other. You got children right now, they got three different fathers and so on, and they look like friends. They don't look like family. We need to cut this foolishness out. No other race would ever accept that.
So there's been a conditioning to the black race that has us like this. All right. So um you had the Jim Crow laws, right? Then you had the crack. Well, let's say at the crack in the neighborhoods, right? The black woman not feeling like she could trust the black man. You know, you had the buck breaking of the man mentally, systematically, all that. So it's everything plays a part together. Okay, and then not only that, women have more rights now. So if she's
They've always had rights, man. That was 170 years ago that women didn't have rights, man. And we didn't implement that.
Yeah, so I'm saying women have their own autonomy now. They're not just looking to be a housewife anymore. So so you ever heard of the term "you can do bad all by yourself"?
Absolutely, I heard that term, but God put us here for a purpose. So that's conditioning, that's social conditioning, saying, "Hey, times have changed. Now your purpose on being in this earth has changed." No, it has not.
Wait.
The
Hold on.
lions still do what they do.
What's
The
a woman's
still do what they do, and the deer still do what they do.
what's a
And
woman's
we need to
purpose?
keep doing what we do.
What's a woman's purpose?
A woman's purpose.
Yeah,
Are you asking specifically what a woman's purpose would be?
Well, you said woman's purpose, so I'm trying to ask you what is it?
I also included a man's purpose and overall what humans were put here to do, the same as the mammals graze in the ground.
But brother, I didn't hear that part. I did hear the animals, but I didn't hear you put in the man's purpose. I heard a woman's purpose. So if I misheard, then I apologize. I didn't hear that. But what is what? Okay, so explain the purpose. So are you going to use biblical purpose, or are you going to use?
No, I mean biblically, I think that the Bible just describes man before program, right? That's all I believe that the Bible it really is. I believe in the higher power, but I don't believe that religion was set here for you and me to follow, a certain standpoint or list of whatever. You take communion or such days. I don't believe that.
Okay.
I believe the overall purpose of man and so on and so forth. I don't want to get into that, but a woman's purpose is the same purpose as a man.
Which is?
So a man's purpose is to protect, provide. Because a woman is vulnerable while she's carrying a child, so the man would naturally be the protector. A woman's purpose is to prolong, be the first teacher of culture to the child, protect the child, and teach the child. We live. That's why women in Afghanistan, Pakistan, even here in America, is like, this is how we live. The first partakers and the first teacher of culture. Men are to protect. We provide cover for that. So I don't believe that a woman's purpose is necessarily any more tied, than a man's purpose. Is ultimately the cornerstone of any successful society is the family.
Okay. So I know this is a cliche, but I'm gonna say it. Did you ever think 1 minute that the answer to our community is love? So, love is not a feeling, it's an action. Did you ever once think that maybe it's love, maybe it's empathy, maybe it's sympathy, maybe it's grace, maybe it's understanding, and the fact that when we having conversations and even when we're moving about in our community, we're not leading in these type of character. We're not doing that. We're not going love on the single mother and the children. We're not going to the local board meetings. We're not showing love to our brother down the street. We're not doing that on a daily basis. We're not starting first and leading in that direction. Maybe that's always been the answer. Now, I say also God, but for the ones who don't believe in God, fine. But what about leading with love? We don't do that as a group of people. We don't, because love is not just saying I love you. Love is action. And if we really cared about our community, we will walk and talk like it. We wouldn't get on panels shaming black women, or and if you want to say vice versa, oh, these women over here say same thing. And when you go out in public, or if you know that a neighborhood is impoverished, right, and the kids over there need help and they need assistance, and you got the resources to go help, right, we would go do that. But we're not doing that on a massive whole. We're not. And then the ones who do have money, we're greedy. We have become servers of self and lovers of self, but we're not servants anymore. We don't serve. And maybe that's the answer, to be a servant. Maybe a 304, a 304 would change her life. If you want to call a woman 304, would change her life just by the character of man you are, by instead of just shaming her. When is the last time we talked life into the streetwalker? Words have power. The power of life is in the tongue. And what we say can go a long way. And not only just what we say, what we do. And death. And death. But recently, all we have been speaking is death. It's hard to go love on someone that you consider broken, or you consider nasty. But it's righteous to do so, which makes it a necessity. So we don't move in love. We don't move in grace. We don't move in empathy. We don't put actions behind our words. But one thing we will do is get online and talk shit, trash about the opposing sex. But then at the same time say we love each other. Where? Where? Sometimes the greatest answers, what we all been looking for, be the simplest things to say. It'd be the simple answer. The answer has always been love. No matter how you think that sounds or how weak it is, that's just the God honest truth.
Brother, if you sat back right now and you told every woman in your chat right now that it was God's grace and the number one female in the whole wide world, they'd all clap.
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
Right now, every woman that's in your chat, if you told them they was God's gift to men in the world, they would all clap and say, hell yeah. Would you agree?
I think some women would, yeah.
Not some women. I'm asking with all women.
I think if I pandered to women and said that, yes, they would say that.
Okay. Now, I'm telling you, it's that discernment tells you that men and women are able to look at themselves and say, who am I? What am I bringing? Would make a lot of people say, maybe I need to shut my mouth. Maybe I'm not the one that needs to speak on this. But I'm reading through comments and I read through all of that stuff. Everybody in this current way that we live, what has changed is that we are all prizes. And everybody ain't got their stuff together. We have fallen into a degrading, deflating society that everybody gets a trophy. And I believe that is the resurgence of Trump.
What?
I just cannot believe that a lot of people would vote against their own interests for the simple fact that we've gotten so far away from.
Wait, who voted against their own interests?
If you look at the way the statistics broke down,
yeah.
If you just look at the demographics, when the final numbers came out, people who his policies would affect adversely, they voted.
Okay, but black folks didn't. Black folks, not all, but majority of black men and women voted for Trump. Voted for Kamala.
Yes.
But I think
that should be a lesson to us, right? because we think we have allies, but we actually don't. When it came down to women's rights, when it came down to immigration, when it came down to corporate, right? Those people went in there, they closed that curtain, and they said, I'm going to vote for the longevity of my community and my people and my family. Even though it was not opportunistic for them, and they still did. And I think that's a lesson for Black people as a whole, is that we continuously have bleeding hearts for other groups, other movements, but those people don't really care about us. And when it comes down to it, they'll kick you down, jump over you, and take your place in line without thinking twice. And Malcolm X warned us about that. Even one of the last Martin Luther King speeches is he said, I fear, and this is a quote,
I may have
I
led my people.
into a burning building.
Okay.
So when we sitting up here and we are co-signing for the destruction of the family, single mothers, oh, it's okay. Single fathers, oh, it's okay. Oh, brother, you just need more time to get your life together. This, that, and the other. We are continuously competing with a group that is extending the distance between them and us.
Wait. So are you saying Black people voting for Kamala? We should have voted for Trump? Because now I'm lost.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that we should have voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. What I'm saying is that as the result.
But you said as a side, you said as a side that's against our interest. So if you really, so what the side that speaks on the nuclear family and all that would be the right?
Would be right. Absolutely, I agree.
Because now I'm confused on the correlation.
What I'm saying is that we had a politician that literally said to us, "No," with Berger in her voice, said, "I will not do something specifically for Black people." But, and this is getting political, but they got other small groups, people that don't even live in this country, walk out the White House with checks for 50, 60 billion, 70, 80 billion dollars over a period of time. I think it's time for us to go internal. It's time for us to just realize we are not part of this group. We were never part of the grand scheme of things. It's time for us to start fixing our issues and look at each other and talk about single parenthood. Talk about how we got here. Talk about the degradation of where we came from since 1964 to where we are now. We only own 0.01% of America's wealth 60 years ago, and it's the same today. But we account for $1.3 trillion a year. The money only stays in our community 6 hours versus every other community. And the next closest is 6 days. It's time for us to get out of this mindset that we are going to sit here and fix something by talking about single motherhood and all this other crap when they are eating our lunch. While we sitting here having our kids twerking and talking to them crazy online, they are sitting there doing AI.
I think. How old are you, brother?
I'm 47 years old.
Okay, I'm 28. I think we fail to realize that even with everything that we've been attacked with as a community of people, the young Black man and what he's achieving at an early age, the young Black woman at what they're achieving at the early age. We keep talking about these this demographic of woman that may shake her butt on the highway and drive under an underpass about to get her head knocked off. We may always be trying to throw in the collective of Black women with those women, and they don't represent the collective. So we gotta pay attention to the wording in which we use. The young Black man is achieving, whether he's going to college or whether he's inventing something. Young Black men are striving. Young Black women are graduating, right, at early ages and even starting their own businesses. So we're still moving even with everything that we face. Now, as far as the Black dollar, one, it's until you build up a system, until you have a group of people in every different thing, you cannot keep the black dollar in the community, because you have to build up a system. All right, so when you start looking at groceries, we need better in our neighborhoods infrastructure. Thank you. We need better grocery stores in our neighborhoods. But who's mostly the people that's going to build it? It's going to be Caucasian people, right? They're the ones who's going to have the freaking finances. So the money's going to have to go out still. Even if we started to try to build up and build back, it's yes, it is. You can try to wait, time out. Wait. I'll give you a good example. I'll give you a good example. Dr. Umar was trying to hire all black people for his school, right? Now, I'm not going to call him a scammer. Let's just take what he says at face value. He's trying to hire all black contractors. All black contractors. It's taking him so long. It's taking him so long because it may not be no contractors in this field, or they may be trying to charge a crazy price, but then he has to ship the money out over to this group of people. It's going to be very hard to circulate this black dollar when you don't have any type of circulation. It has to go out.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to the DC, Philadelphia, and the greater Delaware area?
No. I'm
okay, all you have to do is take a drive up 301 or Route 50 going into Princess George County, which is one of the most affluent black counties in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all ex-military, ex-government, so on and so forth. And you will see sign after sign, black judges, black auditors, black this and black that. I think it's a crime of proximity. You don't see it, but if you ever go down to Atlanta, do you see how many beautiful parks, developments, and all those? Those are black people. So to sit there and say that we can do it in other parts of the country, because black people are concentrated in 10 major cities, right? Because we only account for 43% million people within this country. For Wilmington, if you don't believe that in that proximity of that area, close to Philly, I mean literally a stone's throw away from Philly, that they don't have black AVAC people. They don't have black. I mean, I believe that this is literally putting coals over your eyes. There is plenty of black people and black professionals and black running the show in those areas.
Brother, I didn't say that there was none. What I'm saying is in every area, right? I don't think it's enough. I don't know how I just got a violation, because I don't. Y'all tap F1 in the screen for me, because like I don't know how I just got a violation. I didn't even curse. I didn't even say nothing crazy. But I'm saying if there's enough, and then we're talking about every black neighborhood that will have to start building with each other. Okay, I didn't.
What we need to do.
So okay, so let's talk about the hoods. Acres Home, because I'm from Houston. So we start talking about the hoods. I don't like to call them or for back in letter terms, since we black. Let's just do it. The ghettos, right? A lot of those are not owned by black folks. A lot of those houses, right? A lot of the stores, the food stores that's next to us, the hair salons, all of that. Again, it's going to be very hard because we're integrated. The money is going to go out.
True.
That's what I'm saying. And we're not, and you don't, we can talk about desegregation all day. I don't think that's what you want to do.
No.
Honestly, I don't think desegregation is the answer.
I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, you're good. I'm just
saying, look at industries that we export community that we can control. $80 billion a year in health and beauty. I mean, in hair and beauty. That's something that we used to do. Did you know the Dudley's hair products?
Mm-hmm.
You probably grew up. You seem old enough to probably know Dudley's. Everybody's seen Dudley's and Soul Glow and all that stuff. Those were black-owned businesses. Do you know when the Koreans took over 20 4 years ago, because my mom is a beautician, been a beautician for 50 plus years. Do you know that when they start selling hair, Dilly's, all those other places, the black communities, the black hair shows, all that stuff went out of business? You know what went on the rise? Hair braiding and putting in weave, and we exported money that we were pumping into the black community. My mother took us to the Bahamas every year. My mother paid bills. When my father lost his job at GM, she was able to take care of us. Do you know what we exported those dollars to? Koreans. We exported those dollars to Chinese.
Mhm.
We literally gave away an industry that we dominated to another group of people.
Okay. I'm listening.
We are our own worst enemies at times. That's why I'm just asking, what is the purpose in us not addressing the real issues, as uncomfortable as they may be? Why don't we just talk about it? Why is everybody getting offended that we need to stop giving our money to other people that don't care about us, ain't gonna vote with you, and when it comes down to it, they ain't gonna be at your children's funeral when the police kill them or when something happens. But every time something happens to another community because we fight injustice, we there standing up.
So to answer your question, because you asked the valid question, you said why is everybody getting offended? You need to be asking the question, why is everybody making topics that's making people offended? Why are we rage baiting? So you're having a balanced conversation with me. We have not cursed each other out. We have not been disrespectful.
No,
You're not,
no, 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 brother. I
yeah,
wouldn't do
but
that to
no,
you.
I'm saying, look at what's going on over here, and then go look at what's going on the other side. You don't see many very balanced conversations where even though y'all may not be on the same fence or it may not y'all may not agree, there's no disrespect. And you don't see me holding a live that's rage bait. Like I'm putting the problem with the community in the background is black women, or black women are the devils, or black men ain't shit and will never be shit, just like the Precious movie, right? Like you don't see this. So in this live, you have me defending what is going on with our group of women. And you came in originally thinking that I was on some nonsense, but I wasn't. Actually, since you're having the conversation with Derrick Jackson, didn't even have the balls to talk to me. But you thought I was on some nonsense, and I was just calling out what the opposing side is saying. And the way that they're going about articulating the message is not met with grace, empathy, sympathy, or love. What they're doing is playing the blame. Everybody wants to be Kevin Samuels. I'm not throwing dirt on his name. I don't know where you stand, but I'm saying there was a lot of wrong things that have been said by so-called men that's trying to have a conversation, but their conversations are circular. Everything comes back to a woman, not back to a man leading. And if you're going to call yourself a leader, then I want to see you step. Where are we leading at as a group of men? I don't give a dang about the woman, right? Leave the women alone. What are we doing as a group of men? Have we started building up Black Wall Street? Have we figured out a way to circulate the black dollar? Are we going on massive giving out pamper drives to single mothers or clothing drives to single mothers in our neighborhoods that we know that are struggling? Are we doing that? I'm not saying no one's doing it. I would never say that because I know there's some great black men doing some great things. But are we doing that as a collective group in every black neighborhood as a whole, moving in one accord? No, we are not. So that is why when it comes to the one, I'm sorry, I see you unmuted your mic. Go ahead, but I can finish later.
No, no, no. I understand exactly what you're saying. So no, of course that we're not. But don't you think that we actually have right soil? Right? We actually these conversations, bro. If you can go back 4 or 5 years ago, as you was growing up, you're younger than me, and I can go back 20 years ago. We didn't talk about this stuff. I think now there's a fertile ground. There is soil there now for us to start talking about things that we can step back now and be like, how come our parents, didn't bring this up? How come so and so didn't bring this up? How come the churches didn't bring this up? I think this is the right time for us to right the ship. A ship don't turn on a dime, right? It takes time. And I think this is great for these type of conversations is that we need to realize what our parents did, what the generation before them did, because Malcolm X them, it wasn't nothing for them to go on the Chitlin circuit. It wasn't nothing for them to come to town and they had a church put them up, they had drivers, they had everything. Who's the leaders in our black community now? So now that brothers are speaking up, sisters are speaking up, and we're starting to address these nuanced issues, right? Where it's like single motherhood that used to be just this pariah of conversation. Let's talk about it because women are no more responsible for it than men. Men are equally responsible. But it seems like we get game goofy when it starts to be like, hold on a second. We've been voting within one party for 60 years, and we can sit, and then the leaders can sit back and tell us, I'm gonna do nothing for you, but can go give a check to some
brother,
thousands of miles
let
away.
me, let me just
It's
interject.
time for us to start looking at this crap.
Let me just interject real quick on one little thing that you said. You said that the woman is not at fault more than the men. Okay, I agree with you. But you know the problem is what you just said is not the collective group of men. Because the blame right now in the sphere, in the pill, whatever pill they putting up their butt, that is not the collective senses of the men who have the loudest voices and who are leading the charge in these conversations. I promise you it's not. They literally say because
most people aren't online. Most people fall directly in the middle. There's people to the left. There's people to the
but
right.
we're speaking,
and
but we're
not
speaking,
everybody is
but
online
brother, we're
expressing
speaking
these
about,
ideals.
but we're speaking about the conversations which are taking place online. That is what we're doing. We're speaking about the conversations that people are being vocal about now. Matter of fact, let's be honest. I don't even hear these. Not to call you nigga. I know some black men don't like the word. That was an accident. These type of conversations I don't even hear on a daily basis. I hear some people saying some wild stuff, but these whole single mothers and I don't hear that stuff every day. I don't see a black woman twerking on a freaking highway. I don't see none of that stuff. Honestly, nonsense. So, but I'm not saying it's not happening because obviously if it's being recorded, it's happening. But I don't. That's not the point. The point is I'm addressing you said the nuanced conversations, right? So I'm tying it all in. These conversations are happening online. Okay, and the ones who are leading the charge with the biggest platforms with a following of great men, well, I'm not great men, a large number of men, the consensus of the men as a collective group, right, is that men are not at the equal fault as the woman. Women are at more fault, especially when it comes to the children aspect, because she has to carry it. And that's what I'm telling you.
I guess fault. Fault would be the argumentative operative word, right?
Okay.
It's not about fault as much as and I have two daughters, and I tell my daughters flat out because I was part of an engineering team that we have to come up with strategies and stuff. I don't want to go into detail because that's irrelevant. But when I talk to my daughters, because I love them, because I care about them, and I care about my future grandchildren, I tell them you have the most responsibility because 9 times out of 10, unless something crazy happens, if you get pregnant, the child comes home with us. So until you're finished with college, until you're in a position, basically, when you have a child, since you live at home, you're going to give me a child. You're giving your mother a child. So since you have the most responsibility, you have the most to care about. A man that comes through and visits and it's not a big, if y'all just sleeping together or whatever, he can walk away. It doesn't affect his life the way that you do. It doesn't change his amount of responsibility, but you end up with the most consequence. So I think it's only natural for me as a father to teach my daughters if you're going to end up with the most consequence, you take the most prevention.
Yeah, that is what I understand the argument, right? but that's just where I just disagree. Especially when I know the outcome. I would tell my sons that you are more responsible for how your son ends up in this world, especially if we start looking at statistics and bringing into what these children are looking like when they're with a woman struggling all alone. But I get what you're saying, right? Because she has to carry the accountability is already on her because of her biology.
Black women's maternal rate in this country is lower than 17 other countries that we by far more medical spending, more healthcare spending, more infrastructure spending. We literally, Black women are more likely to die in childbirth than in Afghanistan.
Thank you.
And that's sad. So I tell my daughters and I tell my sons, my son, I don't have a problem with my son because he got a child and he gets his I get my grandson every weekend and he takes care of his child. So I'm just saying this, but that child leaves, right? The mother comes and picks up the child, or we drop off the child. It's a symbiotic relationship. So he's involved, but she has the ultimate responsibility. So I continuously tell my son, hey, listen, you're going to have to get your own place. You're going to have a spare bedroom. You're going to have the same amount of what she needs to come up with to take care of that child in your own space as well. Because if she ever decides to say, okay, this ain't working out, you need to be prepared to be a single father. It's the same. But for my daughters, I also tell them, hey, listen, it ain't like with Chris. It's not like with Cedric. When the mother would have to make a move, you know what I'm saying, for things to change for them. But on your end, that child's going to be with you. And I think we want to be so politically correct. We want everything fair. And like I said, fair is a place where they judge pigs. We need to actually address these issues. We can't continuously be the last ones to figure this out.
You can address the problem. I think people, for the most part, I'm gonna give people great. I think people can have very intellectual and balanced conversation because actually you can see it being displayed here. The problem is the way we're going about having the conversations is not balanced, right? It's not even conversations, brother. It's shots. That's what I'm saying. The majority of the talking points is shame, guilt, your fault, blame. It's not, hey, let's address this issue. Hey, let's try to work this out. Let's have a balanced intellectual conversation. I will listen to you. I will respect you. I will mute my mic when you're talking. That's not happening. Okay, that I'm telling you, as a majority online, when it comes to trying to figure out what's going on with our community, that is not happening. It's loud, huh?
All due respect, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, so let me say something. Having grown children, because I can see in the comments, and I'm sure you're an intelligent brother. We are telling these children, don't go out here and do this. I'm speaking on once they're here. There's nothing you can do to turn back the clock of time and bring a child that got a social security number and a pulse and a heartbeat from what we wish it was. Once they hear, that's what it is.
Well, what are you talking about now?
Some of the people saying, well, you're teaching your daughter this or you're teaching them that. Hey, listen, we are definitely telling our children, don't go out here and do this. Don't go out and not have a marriage. Do marry the woman that you want to be with. Don't have a child with somebody you just irresponsibly ended up with. Don't do it. But when they do it, what are you supposed to do?
Be there for them. Be there for them. Because at the end of the day, the problem is, right? You can only hope for you can only hope for the best, right? Yeah, you train up your child in a way that he won't depart from what you taught, right? And that's also a reference in the Bible. But you train your child the best that you can, and you hope that they don't get into this. But at the end of the day, children are independent of their parents.
They're adults.
Well, no, even before they get to even before they reach 18, right? Because the frontal lobe don't even develop to 25. So that's a whole different argument. But your child, you can train up your child so good, and then your child goes out and does something that is not, that he did not learn, because they are independent. You can only hope for the best. What'd you say?
Me. Telling our children to go out there and do this stuff. We hope that they wouldn't.
Yeah. That's all I would say. I think people are trying their best, but they realize that, at some point your child is going to defy. That just is what it is. You hope not, but a child is independent of their parents. You cannot control your child. You can't even be with your child 24/7. We don't have the finances to be with our child 24/7. We're not homeschooling. I'm not saying nobody is. I'm just saying as a majority, we're not homeschooling. You got to go out to work. You got to go out to a job. So yeah, you can't be with your child. You don't know the half of what your child has done. Not you, sir. I'm just speaking in general.
No. I understand exactly what you're saying, but that's just the truth of it. Is that the lady from down in what is it, Mobile, Alabama? The dude, they killed that poor young black dude, and it was the 4 black officers that did it. When they brought her up in front of City Hall, and she had to explain, what did your officers do or whatever. She told them flat out, and I'll never forget it, and it stuck with me as a parent. She said, "We have rules in place. We have stipulations in place. We have standards in place. And officers are not supposed to conduct themselves this way." She says, "But if anything, you can't trump culture with legislation." And I think every parent, every brother, every sister could sit back now and just say, we know right from wrong. We know what they taught us in school. We know what our parents taught us at home. But when that culture get a hold of your ass, it's stronger than the other stuff you've been told.
Culture?
Culture. There's no answer for culture. When people decide culture over legislative rules or decorum, since they think that all of these people out here just seeking attention and doing this and that, they don't know any better. They are different. They decided not to.
Yeah, I think people choose. I think people make bad decisions sometimes. Well, I think people make bad decisions all the time. Well, I mean, we could even see that with the black men. I mean, with the gang members and the drug and the smug sellers and all that stuff. So
I think her point was saying that there was a culture that could get away with whatever they want, and that was the culture. Even though they had rules,
I don't think that was the culture, man. I think you get away with whatever they want. Due to who? Due to black folks, right?
not necessarily. I mean, she was a black female chief, and those was black officers, and it was a predominantly black department. But she was saying, I can't trump the culture with rules.
Okay. Well, I do think it was a systemic thing, because even if you, I don't want to call no black cop a pig. I don't do that. But excuse me. I mean, we know what the police was originally made for. So I mean, that's ingrained in it. I mean, who are when something happens, what's the number one suspect? What color are they going to be looking for?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, man, I appreciate you for having a balanced conversation, man. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too, bro.
All right. Okay. Okay. So y'all be thinking that I'm gonna be cursing and all this stuff. I'm trying to do that balanced conversation. I don't want to curse nobody. I don't want to say that crazy. It was a balanced conversation. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Hey, hey, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. What about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. I just saw your title on this live, and I agree at 100%.
You say you agree with it?
Heck yeah, this is all the time. I just come off TikTok because it was so negative. Because I'm really like working on myself. So to hear so many negative things when you don't even listen to certain music or certain family members, then you get on here and all you hear is like negativity. And then in the end, the children are the ones who are losing. So I don't understand why is it still a battle between, our people and the kids are losing. So, at the end of the beginning of the day, at this point, especially new parents, y'all need to either not have children or make it work because y'all you can't even trust your children or anybody anymore. So it's kind of like, you know, I have a 25-year-old son officially this week, so and 14-year-old. So it's kind of like I don't understand what's going on, and I just raise my youngest son to be better than I know because he's gonna need it because his dad is not in the house, but his dad does get him and is in his life. But we got
He's an active father.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the active fathers. We appreciate.
Yeah, I'm actually moving to Georgia to be closer to his dad, so he can be at football and because I've done what I could. He's 14, so I kind of like it's time for him to step in and show him the rest of the ropes. So we got to start coming together. People like this is a must. Like arguing with your baby mama and stuff like that, and your baby father in front of your kids. Like they're showing examples. Like even to little girls. Like if I had a daughter, I definitely wouldn't want to show my daughter to be disgruntled to her dad because the young men don't respond to that well. So you might get your daughter messed up. So you have to show them how to act, and you can't tell them how to act. You have to be example. So with my 14-year-old son, I'm better as far as example and conversation in front of him with his dad. That we don't have, we don't have disagreements, especially in front of my son. Mm-hmm. And if we do have one, we can talk it out right then and there with a solution, not just getting crazy. And we all come from crazy background. I don't understand why people are moving towards that even more. Because y'all kids is losing when you act like that. I'm really actually tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about it. And like you, I'm tired of all the going against on TikTok. Like, why is it a relevant subject to down somebody who's raising children that you might not even be able to go to the grocery store because this lady is a single parent and her son, she out here working 2 or 3 jobs, and her son out here getting at how he lives. Mm-hmm. So you get caught in the crossfire creating all this those crazy narratives all the time, and people want to blame you. No, blame yourself because that's what y'all talking about on the internet, and what's talked about is spreading so fast. The negativity. If you put something good, nobody don't want to share. But if it's a negative connotation, it's so fast to share. So, we got to change. And if you want your children to be better, you act better, you do better, and you raise them to be better for themselves. Because I was just listening to another line that was saying, 2-parent households are better. And at this point, it possibly could be, but just when the peers get a hold of their 2-parent household, they could be destroyed too. So you have to now we have to focus on raising our children to love themselves. Mm-hmm. So if your child can love themselves, they'll get caught up with the wrong people who don't love themselves. Like I give my son the choice to go and make good grades. I don't have to check his grades. If you want to make good grades and do better for yourself, you're going to do it. Can't nobody make nobody do nothing no more.
I wouldn't agree with that part.
I mean, you can. I'm taking your phone. I'm going to take the internet and all that. Who wants to forcibly do that? So with the option I give my son, I tell him every day, be better than the rest. Mm-hmm. Go do the best for yourself. And if you do the best for yourself, guess what? You going to come out on top. So right now you're 14, you got to start watching yourself. So guess what? It's been working for the last 2 years. He's been on my own some more stuff. I get a scorecard. If I get it and I see it, because I'm not big on all that stuff like that no more. But I feel like they don't teach nothing. The curriculum is 200 or 300 years old. I can teach her how to be a business person. Have I done it successfully? No, but I know what to do. Shoot, let's get into some crypto. Let's do some other stuff. We don't gotta go by their textbooks no more. But at the same time, I just want everybody to be better and be better in front of their kids and be better role models and stop trying to say you want to be this certain way and be these city girls in front of these little girls. I don't want my son to y'all daughters to say y'all right with them. So, raise respectful young men as much as you can. But you gotta show them the examples. You can't just tell them no more. You gotta let them see it. And that's all I have to say. And thank you for having me on your live tonight.
No problem, man. You have a good one.
You have a great night. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Yes, peace, y'all.
Peace out. Okay. And y'all said that single mothers don't even be trying to make it work with their baby, that even if they're not together, right? She said she's moving closer. She said she's moving closer to the baby father so that the children can look at that, bro. But y'all act like this type of stuff don't happen, right? The woman just ain't, the woman just trash, bro. Just single mothers just horrible. You feel me? Right? Y'all act like I be trying to but niggas, I ain't gonna say it, but niggas, but dudes don't care about them type of stories. That's what I be saying. And that's why I be trying to add the balance and the nuance, because they act like this type of stuff don't happen, like these baby mothers or not baby mothers, single mothers don't be really trying to make it work or doing what's best for the child, trying to get closer to the they be acting like, and shout out to the active fathers. See, y'all be thinking we diss black men over here. I don't consider a man who abandons his kid a black man. I'm gonna call him a black man because I can give you a pass. Like some dudes will say that's a nigga, and there's a difference between a nigga and a man. I'm not that guy. I'm throwing you under the bus. You're a black man. You're just a trash black man. That's what you are. But again, they act like these type of stories don't happen, and obviously y'all just heard it. Shout out to the active father, and shout out to this lady. And yes, we should strive to be better people. We definitely should strive to be better people. And that's what I'm saying. If we just lead these conversations with love, grace, I don't think y'all understand how important love, grace, empathy, and sympathy. You ain't gonna reach nobody without being able to have a conversation in love, grace, empathy, and sympathy. If you don't have empathy or sympathy, just one of them, you can't win nobody over. Sometimes put yourself in the single mother's shoes sometimes, right? For you dudes who throwing black single mothers under, but I'm just asking you a question. Put yourself in her shoes for just a moment, right? Try to understand her perspective, because you just try to understand her perspective, and then maybe you wouldn't say so much of the harmful things that you say online. How you expect it? What? Here go another question, brothers. Why would black women listen to us when we don't listen to them? That's all I got right there. Why would black women listen to us, care about what we got going on, take heed to what we're saying when we do not listen to them, when we don't care what they're going through? Ma'am, you should have never opened your legs. That's the problem. You should have never opened your legs. That's the problem. Well, the child's here, bro. The child is here. She already opened the leg. The leg's been open. The leg's been open. Okay? And the child is here. So now what? Now what? Oh, you got to be held accountable. Nigga, let me ask y'all a question. How do you hold a single mother accountable? How do you hold a single mother accountable? Can anybody answer that question for me? Any man. How do you hold a single mother accountable when she is already accountable with the child being here? Because they be like, we gotta hold these single mothers accountable. Nigga, what? What you? Bro, the background will be like, we gotta hold these single mothers accountable, bro. And I'm like, wait. What you mean? How do you hold a single mother? Huh? Make that make sense. How? What? The lead are open. The legs are open and they in between them willingly. Who are you talking about? Are you saying women? I would hope that women are willingly opening up their legs. I would hope. I would hope a man's not taking it, even though 1 out of 4 women are SA'd. I mean, even though 1 out of 4 women are SA'd, I would hope. I would hope that it is consensual. Miss Kiera, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm actually in the bed right now. I have my lights off, so it's probably why you can't see me.
That's fine.
Okay. I just wanted to come up and say a few things. So I've been listening to your channel for a while, and I do agree with most of the things that you say.
Mhm.
And I also do want to say I am a special police officer. I am around a lot of black men, all day, every day. So we walk around with walkies all the time. And literally all we hear most of the time at work is Baker is like black male.
Mhm.
It's like the code for, black male. That's literally all we hear all day, every day. Just
Okay.
black men, getting into stuff. Um, did you say hold on?
No, I said okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's all we hear all day, every day. It's just black men getting into stuff, being obnoxious, like just acting crazy. So that's literally all I hear all day, every day at work, and it's literally drives me insane. Um, but to touch on other things as well, I've been on YouTube for some years now, and I've also have heard all of, the talking points that they have with like single mothers, black women taking the blame for everything. And they pretty much take no accountability for anything, that goes on in the black community. And it's just really, really sad and terrible. And especially when Kevin Samuels was on YouTube before he passed, that was like a horrid moment for the black community, I think. And I honestly never watched any of his videos because me personally, I don't need validation from a man, or from anybody for that matter. So I just never felt the need to listen to any of his content. But I did see a lot of black women going on there, and I don't know why, but a lot of black women were going on there, um, and allowing him to disrespect them and talk to them in any type of way, degrading them. It was crazy, honestly. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that I've seen, that I've heard on YouTube over the years, and it's just really sad. So I just wanted to come on and speak my side and say what I had to say about that. And I do think that there should be way more black men other than you. The public offender. There's quite a few black men on here that I follow that
Mhm.
actually defend, black women. Um, so yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Wait, is there anything you would hold me accountable on? Like anything I've said crazy, like any disagreements that I could maybe think about, have something to think about? Because you said you agree with mostly everything I said. So what's something you would disagree with?
So the only thing that I would say that I disagree with you on, it's not necessarily your talking points, it's just more so of how you are still in a sense kind of coddling black men when you are talking to them. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest because the way that they speak, I'm not saying match energy with energy or fire with fire, whatever, but I do feel like to a certain extent because they are grown men, you can't really be so soft and gentle and like tiptoe and like beat around, not saying you're beating around the bush, but just generally speaking, like if you're gonna be straightforward and like let them know, because a lot of black men, they need tough love, if that makes sense. They need to be talked to in a certain way for them to actually get it, which is sad to say, but they don't really, it doesn't really register for them if you don't talk to them, like on man time, essentially. So That's pretty much all I would say about that. Because I do feel like you do have a lot of patience with them. I honestly don't know how, but yeah, it's just like you still are a little bit more like, you're not, you don't really want to offend them, which I totally understand and I respect that. Um, but I just feel like when it comes to certain black men, especially the guy like when you were on your live the other night, it was a black guy that came on and he gave very like coon like Jim Crow era like the it was a black guy. He was talking about like I can't really fully remember the conversation, but it literally blew my mind because you were asking him questions about I guess people being like numbers because he kept saying that women were nines and tens and things like that, and you were like, okay, well, how would like that's like dehumanizing to like refer to a woman as a number.
Hmm.
And he was pretty much like, oh, well, that's not dehumanizing because that's what it is. And then you gave him an example, like, okay, well, back in slavery, they were like giving us numbers and things like
Oh
that. You don't,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So that conversation was
yeah,
literally insane. That was
yeah.
so insane to me. I could not believe it. But there really are black men out there that think that way. And I know they probably date white women because I've run into them before where they literally would go out of their way to literally tell me they don't date
Mm,
black girls, they only date white girls as if I asked. But there are a lot of black men out there like that, sad to say. So
mm.
yeah, it's just really crazy. But I
I
don't
get
know,
what I
man.
get I get what you're saying. Like I tend like it's that that's that Holy Spirit in me, right? That's that Christ likeness in me. I be trying to reach them, man, because like I ain't trying to. How much better it is? It's great to see a person change. How much better would it be for a seed to be planted in that person's heart than for me to just keep him on the straight path? So I be hoping that people can be redeemed. And I don't have a pro like if they gonna voice their opinions and their concerns, I don't have a problem with it. It's just it's the extreme rhetoric like that they go to, like black women are demons, or black women don't care about their life. Black women have done more harm to black men than any white man. Like stuff that Anton Daniels say, angry
Yeah,
man
that's
say.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can even fathom saying that. And I need to I get what you're saying, like be more stern, but I be trying to let them get off their chest because I really be trying to reach the guys at the end of the day. But I get you.
Yeah, I
I understand.
understand though. I understand exactly how you are, Shannon. And I do, like I said, I'm not like trying to force you or bash you to make you do things that you don't feel comfortable with or anything like that. But I do also feel like to a certain extent, there are a lot of black men, like I said, that aren't like you. Like a lot
Mm,
of them will say the most wildest talking points, and you're like, did you really just say that? You know what I mean? Like you don't really think that, but they really do wholeheartedly feel that way.
mm,
And it's very like it's really dangerous because like I'm all about like women empowerment. Like I love black women. I don't like I've never fought over a man. I've never like bashed another woman, started rumors about another woman over a man. I just never done it because it's just not in me. Like I feel like I'm fairly attractive, like I get guys, but I'm like not like big headed about it, very humble. But I feel like to a certain extent it doesn't really get us anywhere being catty with one another.
mm,
um so I think that as far as black women goes, like black men should let black women, like you said, do the checking of women. um and then black men should be holding other black men accountable, but they have to be honest too about the ways in which they are, because they try to act like certain things. Black men are just so innocent, they do no wrong, they're angels, and like everyone's just like trying to attack them for no reason, and they're just like victims, essentially.
mm.
And like we have to be honest at some point, you know what I mean, about the community if we're going to be able to work on healing and fixing the community as a collective,
Mhm,
because black men and black women, black children, we're all in the community, but we owe it to the children, we owe it to the youth, we owe it to future generations, because black men messed it up like generations ago.
mm.
um but I've been following also, like I love like Cynthia G as well. Like that's my girl. I know I mentioned her briefly. I do feel like she can be a little bit harsh, But I'm not gonna lie, it is a little funny because she's very blunt and straightforward, and she always comes with receipts, which I like that. I don't like
No,
people that just talk.
I say I don't have a problem with Cynthia G. Maybe that one thing that she said, which I'm not gonna say it on the platform. Maybe that the one thing that got her kicked off by a Caucasian woman. It's crazy how a Caucasian woman took her out the game, but that's crazy. But I feel like if she can say that, right, then if she said that, then other men need to be taken off because you had somebody say, throw out the baby with the bathwater, get a whole new group of women and start the community over. That sounds like genocide.
Yes, I've heard that talking
Yeah,
point.
yeah, that
I
that 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 comes from well, it's not. It's a lot of men that have said that, but I first heard it from AD and Mr. Daniels himself, right?
Yeah.
And then it was black men on the panel with him and Mr. Let Go. I played the clip before. Him and Mr. Let Go were on the panel. I mean, Mr. Let Go was shaking his head like, "Yup, yup." I'm like, God dang, yeah, like so nobody gonna say nothing. Even the black women, they would just like say something.
Yeah, that's why me personally, I feel like a certain caliber of black women, like, and this is no shade, go on those shows because I don't know what is in their mind or in their psyche that makes them feel like they're not the ones that they're talking about. It's like if you're a black woman, then it applies to you too, sweetie. It's not like it's not applying to you. They're talking about
Mhm,
black women. They're generalizing all black women, so they're talking about you too.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
that's why me personally, I know my energy. Like I just can't go on a show like that because I have self-respect for myself. I'm not gonna like allow any man, any woman, anybody to disrespect me because I don't dish it out, so it just will never happen for me. I just hope and wish and pray that more black women will stop embarrassing themselves and going on these shows and essentially being like the laughing stock or the butt of the joke. It's not funny, and it's just really like deplorable behavior.
yeah. I wish that they would stop going on them shows too. Like again, I don't try to uphold misogyny on this side, but that's a language that men speak. So I don't be trying to offend women, but like I keep trying to tell people, only a man can check a man. A woman can check a man, but since men don't listen to women, it will never be received. So only a man can go up to another man and tell him how problematic or wrong he's being. Because if it comes out, and it's sad that that's the case, but if it comes out of a woman's mouth, niggas just gonna brush that off and
Brush
be
it
like, I'm not
off,
listening
yeah.
to you. Like, even though a woman be right, they be right. Like, bro, you're an asshole. Like, right, you didn't
Yeah.
have to say that like that. I don't care. This is our talk and blah blah. But when a man say, hey man, you wrong, shut up, chill out. Yeah, you right, dog. Yeah, you right. You right. I was tripping. Nigga, what was the difference between me and the woman saying it to you?
Yeah, it's
But
just
but I
that's what I'm
wouldn't I wouldn't
saying.
have no problem. I wouldn't have no. I joke around, like, not to troll, but I do joke around about bringing Cynthia G on the platform, and I would have no problem bringing her on the platform. She was on Public's platform a few days ago. I don't mind her bringing awareness to what's going on. I just think that one thing got her kicked off. It's unfair, but it was stupid to say. I don't think she had to say it like that. It's unfair. She didn't have to say that. But if she ever want to have a conversation with me, I'll bring her on and we could talk about that'll be a very beautiful podcast. I can go in on self-hating Negroes all day.
Yeah, I know, and so so can she. But yeah, I just honestly, I just like the fact that certain conversations are being had now within the black community that weren't being had before because now it gives us like a space and an opportunity to, clear the air essentially and be able to just be more respectful to one another and be more understanding.
Mhm.
I think as far as the women goes, the women pretty much have it down pat. I think the men still have a lot of maturing and growing up to do, um, especially intellectually. I just feel like a lot of them are just not there. But I feel like overall, I feel
Mhm.
like overall, like I said, I do like your channel. I do like Public. I just started watching Public, but I do like his content too, because you guys are honest and you guys aren't like simps or whatever they say, just like trying to defend, you know, women, black women or whatever. Because I feel like you guys are pretty fair. Like you guys call out both, um, if you know if you need to. But I also feel like men, most of the men that you know call in and come up, they just want it to be like, oh, women this, women that, women this, women that, and it's like this is a man. Like, you know, you're calling into a man's another man's show. Why are you centering women, you know, into it when we're talking man to man? Like, so I
Mhm.
feel like you guys are pretty fair. That's why I like you guys' channel for the most part. But I would love to come on your, you know, your channel more, and talk to you more. And you know, I'm really like good at debates. I like, you know, conversations and you know, I'm really well spoken. I didn't go to college, but I'm very self-educated and I do my research and you know things like that. So I would love to come on your channel more often to have
Oh,
more
of course. I mean,
conversations.
you welcome anytime. I wish that I could give people a set schedule. I usually just say Monday through Thursday, but I don't have time. But you got my email. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did get your your message. So like when I'll read it and then we can set up what you would like to talk about, or we can even review some content together where like I could put a third screen on the bottom and we could just, you know, talk about what's going on. I could pause it. What did you think about this? What you think about that? And also, I'm about to mix it up on the channel a little bit. We know we gonna be talking about conspiracy theories and you know stuff to make it different. Like you know the major corporations. What's going on with our food? Is it all a hoax? Is there a lumen? Like I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, but like if you want to come on if you want to come on the page a lot more, you can. You're always welcome. Anybody really
Oh
welcome.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely like I'm low key a nerd, but I do my research. Like I read a lot of articles, I watch a lot of
Mhm.
documentaries. So I'm always trying to learn something new every single day. So I would absolutely love that because that's like amazing. I love speaking my opinion because I'm, you know, I'm very respectful as well. So I feel like it will be good content and people can actually take away from what, you know, what we're talking about versus people just coming on going on like a rant and then like, you know, not they're saying a lot but not really saying anything, you know? So
Mhm.
I like people that are actually intellectual that actually like talk about, you know, that are actually like intelligent. If I'm not trying to be shady, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I understand you. And for y'all that's watching me on YouTube, I got her page pinned right there with the little wave. So y'all follow her and get her subscriber count up. You know what I'm saying? So because she gonna be on the platform a lot more coming up. And if any and I always send out the link. So if you guys want to come up and have a conversation with me, or even if you have a disagreement, if it's something I said, if it comes across the wrong way or whatever, and you want to check me, hey Shannon, that was wrong. I'm open to criticism too. Like I don't run away from no fade, none.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, I'm glad. I like I said, I haven't been watching your channel that long, but so far I like your content. So I don't usually want to come up to people's platform. I'm not really that type of person.
Mhm.
This is like the first time I've ever like done this with you, so it's kind of like new for me too.
You didn't
But
even do it on Cynthia G. You didn't go up on Cynthia G panel.
no, I'm more so like she's mostly on like Patreon now. So I do
Yeah.
subscribe to her on Patreon. And I
Mhm.
still watch her content when it comes out because it's just so good.
Mhm.
But I just love her commentary and how she like breaks everything down. It's just very like it's very eye opening, you know, but it's very educational as well. So
Mhm.
I absolutely love it. Also, I don't know if you know about it's called the Moynihan Report. I believe Cynthia G went over it before.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I know about it. It explains how there was a mass exodus of the black man out the neighborhood,
Yeah, so it pretty
not the
much breaks
community.
it down. Yeah, it breaks it down pretty good. Well, Cynthia G broke it down pretty good, but he just goes into pretty much how black men were never like involved really in the community, because you know how they were saying welfare took them out the home and all of the things, and that whole report there just kind of debunks all of that. So when she went over that, that was crazy, and then she also talked about how you know majority of black men were pimps,
Well,
which
what?
was majority of black men were pimps.
Oh, with pimps.
Yeah. Like I forget what era. I want to say it was the
Wow.
60s and 70s, but they had a lot of like footage. There was like a lot of video footage on that, which
Okay.
shocked me. I was like really like baffled by that because I didn't know that either. So I learned a lot from Cynthia G's channel. I'm not gonna lie, I learned so much. And I mean, it was kind of like sad as well because of course you're like finding out about all this like treasonous behavior that a lot of black men were like partaking in back in those times, and you're like, damn, that's crazy. um
Mhm.
but after you learn about it, you're like, okay, after you get through all the emotion and whatever the case may be, you're like, okay, it's very good information to have so that you know how to move, you know throughout your community, throughout life, essentially.
Mhm.
So I'm just grateful that I'm able to, perceive and take in information and learn from other people. So
Wow. But I appreciate you for coming up. I'll be live tomorrow, and we can and I'll hit you up on the email so we can see if you have any thoughts about what you want to talk about, or we can set up something for next week or whenever you're free. But I'm gonna respond to your message on the email because I got it.
okay, I'm usually free Wednesdays and Thursdays because I work every day else. So,
Okay.
but yeah, definitely hit me up, and it was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye bye. Beautiful conversation. Beautiful conversation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was very very interesting. And y'all yeah, like, hold on, let me pin this woman's man, my screen froze again. Hold on, y'all. YouTube done froze on me. Here we go. Every time. My bad, y'all. I don't know. It lagged right there. It lagged right there. I don't know what happened. Look at somebody said look at Shannon. What you mean look at Shannon? What in the world? Look at Shannon. All right. Anyway, what was I about to say? Uh, this has been fun. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I appreciate y'all. Who is Bobo Anderson? Mm. This has been fun. Very interesting. Hold on. Over here reading comments, bro. Anyway, love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged in Jesus' name. I'm tired. I'm finna call it a night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.